As time passed, White Fang grew into the ultimate work dog here, catching fish as easily as pulling noodles and daily bringing his own moving. One day, 2 gold miners strolled into the tribe, and when the main character saw White Fang, it felt like a special electricity hit his heart. Similarly, the moment White Fang saw the main character, he started pondering. The main character learned from the chief that this wolf was named White Fang. Subtitles: he heard the wolf was caught as a pup, trained as a work dog. The hero rejoiced inwardly and reminisced furiously. Subtitle: he was a little guy back then. Maybe it's destiny. He bent down to pet it while the chief was away. The main character explained, if you treat him nice, he might work harder, but the chief thumped his chest and said, he's just a tool, a disposable item. Then he warned the hero not to befriend wolves. At this moment, 2 dogs in the corner barked at the unfamiliar main character, while White Fang boldly stepped in front of him, glaring at the 2 dogs, soon silencing them. He knew White Fang was lonely. Dogs feared him. Humans used him as a tool, buzzing like a shadow. He howled at the lake, sharing unspeakable grief, as White Fang noticed the humans' inexplicable attention. Thus, their eyes met, and the ship of friendship set sail. The next day, while the main character was strolling, subtitles, he turned to find White Fang stealthily tailing him. Then it shot into the woods like an arrow. Unbeknownst to him, White Fang just wanted to protect him since it was unsafe here, with wild beasts lurking about. Suddenly, a giant brown bear appeared behind him, making him shout wow. He fled fast, but the bear pursued closely. He slipped while escaping, as if about to be bear's dinner. In a life-or-death situation, he dove into logs without hesitation, but the bear wouldn't let him go. The bear kept battering the woodpile, even clawing at the main character's arm. He was in a world of fear, seeing no way out when suddenly White Fang charged in. The bear, noticing this, let out a mighty roar, causing White Fang to hesitate and not step forward. Times L, panned, a tilde divided by I circumflex eomat transferred, epithet letter 3 CAO grov letter 1B I cute, et letter 1 F5 eomat. I cyrillic letter 4B5 cute plus or minus e grov or sneaky strategy u eomat 3/4 panda half 3 currencies and 3/4 eomat 2 eomat letter 3 CA cute a half eomat paragraph symbol 3 Chinese letter cute divided by Hebrew symbol 5 BA ring or not then a half e circumflex o eomat cyrillic letter 4 I circumflex I cute eomat letter 3 0 letter 73 glottal stip stroke AIS o cute a micro eomat taking advantage of o I cute back pan and o cute a tilde seized the chance I pan and o I a quarter o tilde a cute you grov s IXDE and the gut should easy copyright. He and the bear engaged in a stare down, and no matter where the bear turned, White Fang consistently stood guard. This scene stunned the main character, who would have thought this wolf would go to such lengths to save him. The bear, furious, roared and took a fighting stance, but White Fang wouldn't back down either, glaring ferociously, as if to say, you dare step forward, I'm ready to rumble. Seeing fierce White Fang, the bear knew victory wasn't assured. 1,000 hurt means 800 lost. So, it turned tail and left, while the shaken main character wanted to thank White Fang, but he had already slipped away. Times L afterwards, the hero planned to leave for new horizons. Before going, he found White Fang by the lake, staring into the distance alone. Grateful, he thanked it and left a piece of meat. White Fang developed an inexplicable fondness for the male lead. No one cared like him. As the hero sailed off, he glanced back to find White Fang gazing at him, unaware their fates were bound. Soon, White Fang returned to his daily grind, this time following the chief to deliver some silver. Unexpectedly, a few ruffians were eyeing him, testing his patience. Seizing the moment the chief left, 3 thugs with nasty dogs. White Fang originally didn't want anything to do with them, but those dogs were just pouring gasoline on the flame. White Fang wasn't looking for trouble, but that didn't mean he was scared. The scene that followed left the 3 in shock. Just moments ago, those fierce dogs were put in their place by White Fang. Now, they didn't dare to bark. Instead of getting angry, the ruffians were thrilled, as if they'd hit the jackpot, eager to use White Fang for dog fighting. They started focusing on White Fang, unaware that he had already caught wind of them, and was sprinting to his rescue. The ruffians yelled that the wolf went crazy and attacked their puppy, but the chief surprisingly apologized. He even gave his hard-earned pelts to them. As an Indian, he bowed to unreasonable colonizers. To his surprise, the ruffians made even ruder demands, jail him or surrender the wolf. The chief was at his wit's end, and had no choice but to agree, handing White Fang over to them. Compared to his own safety, White Fang was merely a tool, so the 3 of them promptly caged him. But a cage that can hold a dog won't necessarily hold a wolf. White Fang refused to bow down to fate. The thugs brandishing their clubs tried to force him, but White Fang started to stand his ground. In the end, he couldn't escape their clutches. The wheel of fate began to turn, and the thugs planned to train him for dogfights. One of them quickly dragged him away. White Fang wanted to avoid hurting anything of his kind, but under pressure, he reluctantly fought back. With a swift and precise strike, White Fang easily subdued his opponent. Watching the black dog collapse, White Fang felt a deep sense of guilt and remorse, but the thugs didn't care about his feat. Having won a large sum, they rushed White Fang to the next match. He had to brace himself to avoid blows. After 2 months, White Fang remained undefeated, but didn't receive the rewards that came with it. The ruffians, to keep him in shape, beat him with sticks and starved him, refusing even leftovers. Under this constant torment, part of White Fang's spirit was irrevocably altered, but on this day, White Fang encountered a special competitor. He was small but packed with muscle, trained specifically for dogfighting.